You're watching Unplugged TV India. This is Alice Francis. Let's begin with today's top stories. Assembly polls. Uttar Pradesh goes under fourth phase in 59 constituencies on Wednesday. Enforcement Directorate arrests NCP leader Nawab Malik in connection with mafia world. Sanjeev Sanyal appointed as full-time member of Economic Advisory Council to PM. Air India flight brings back first batch of 240 Indian stranded in Ukraine. Supreme Court rejects plea seeking cancellation of offline board exam. Indian Air Force participate in exercise Cobra Warrior in United Kingdom. Now book tatkal tickets online. IRCTC launches Confirmtkt app. Deepak, Chahar and Suryakumar Yadav ruled out of T20 International Series against Sri Lanka. The fourth phase of Uttar Pradesh Assembly election was conducted on Wednesday in 59 constituencies of Uttar Pradesh, including state capital Lucknow and Lakhimpur Kheri. The voting began at 7 am and ended at 6 pm. Voting for the remaining three phases of the seventh phase UP election will take place on February 27, March 3 and 7. The counting of votes will take place on March 10. Union Minister of State for Home Ajay Mishra Teni, whose son Ashish was arrested in connection with the violence in October last year, which killed 8 people, including 4 farmers, casted his vote in Banbirpur of Lakhimpur Kheri. Nawab Malik, Maharashtra Minister and NCP leader, is back in news. Malik on Wednesday was arrested following interrogation by the Enforcement Directorate in connection with the mafia world. According to sources, Malik was summoned to appear before the investigation agency in connection with a case involving underworld kingpin and fugitive terror financer Dawood Ibrahim, his brother Anis, Iqbal, aide Chota Shakil and others. Raids were carried out last week at a number of places across the country, including the late Hasina Parker's home, who was Dawood Ibrahim's sister. Iqbal Kaskar, Dawood's fugitive brother, was apprehended last week, and the Enforcement Directorate questioned Hasina Parker's son, Alisha Parker, on Monday. It was recently revealed that Dawood Ibrahim's gang was operating in the country, carrying out terror acts in an attempt to destabilize law and order. In Mumbai and other cities, Dawood Ibrahim and his aide Chota Shakil, as well as his brother Anis Ibrahim, conduct hawala operations, betting syndicates and illegal real estate firms, extortion in another activity carried out by the gang. In connection with the case, ED began conducting searches at several sites throughout Mumbai last week for elements linked to the underworld and Dawood Ibrahim. The FBI is looking into Nawab Malik's dealings with Dawood Ibrahim's aide Sardar Shawali Khan and Hasina Parker bodyguard Salim Patel. According to opposition leader Devendra Fadnavis, Malik bought the property worth crores from Khan and Patel for about Rs 30 lakhs. Officials from the ED are also investigating Malik and his associates and other business operations. According to sources, the CIA has major evidence against Malik. Sanjeev Sanyal, the Finance Ministry's principal economic advisor, has been appointed as a full-time member of the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister. The appointment is for a 2-year period. The EAC-PM is an independent group set up by the Union government to provide economic advice to the Prime Minister. Sanjeev Sanyal has advised the Finance Ministry on how to formulate economic strategies in the event of a pandemic. Since the 1990s, the seasoned economist has worked in financial markets. Sanyal was previously the managing director of Deutsche Bank and was appointed as the Finance Ministry's chief economic advisor in February 2017. The first Air India flight ferrying Indian citizens stranded in Ukraine amid the ongoing tension arrived at New Delhi's International Airport on Tuesday night. The Boeing 787 aircraft left Ukraine's capital Kyiv at 6 pm, carrying 240 passengers and landed in Delhi around midnight on Tuesday. There are around 20,000 Indians in Ukraine. Thousands of Indians are waiting to fly back home from Ukraine amid rising tensions with Russia. Recently, President Vladimir Putin has recognized two separatist areas in Ukraine as independent nations. Vistara CEO Vinod Kannan on Tuesday said it has no plans to operate flights to Ukraine, citing aircraft limitations. Air India will be operating 2 more flights to Kyiv on February 24 and 26. Besides Air India, other Indian operators are expected to start special flight services to Ukraine. The Supreme Court on Wednesday has dismissed the plea asking for cancelling offline board exams, stating it has ill-advised and premature. Authorities are yet to decide the rules and dates. If the decision is not in consonance with rules, then it is open to challenge. The plea stated by school students against holding board exams for class 10th and 12th via physical or offline mode was heard by the 3-judge bench of Justices A.M. Khanwilkar, Dinesh Maheshwari and C.T. Ravi Kumar. The bench in the hearing said such petitions will go on and such petitions give false hope to students. Supreme Court further added that they will not issue any directions. There are rules and regulations in place and authorities are working. The court warned that if it is brought again to court, it will impose exemplary costs. Fast bowler Deepak Chahar and batter Suryakumar Yadav have been ruled out of the upcoming T20 International Series against Sri Lanka after sustaining injury. In a latest development, BCCI informed that Deepak Chahar sustained a right quadriceps injury during bowling, while Suryakumar suffered a hairline fracture during a fielding attempt in the third and final T20 International against the West Indies in Kolkata on Sunday. They will now head to the National Cricket Academy in Bangalore for further management of their injuries. Rohit Sharma is leading India's T20 squad. The Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation has released Confirmtkt, an app that will serve as one-stop online destination for passengers looking for verified tatkal tickets. The app displays all available tatkal tickets for a certain train or itinerary. Passengers can purchase tickets up to 24 hours in advance of the train departure. The Confirmtkt app or website can be used to book IRCTC tatkal tickets. Tatkal timings for AC trains tickets begin at 10 am and 11 am for non-AC train tickets. Till now, tatkal tickets could only be purchased at physical counters at railway stations. The Indian Air Force to participate in exercise Cobra Warrior in United Kingdom. Indian Air Force will participate in a multinational air exercise named Cobra Warrior 22 at Weddington, UK from March 6 till March 27. IAF Light Combat Aircraft (LCA) Tejas will participate in the exercise along with fighter aircraft of the UK and other leading air forces. The exercise is aimed to providing operational exposure and to share best practices amongst the participating air forces, thereby enhancing combat capability and forging bonds of friendship. 5 Tejas aircraft will fly to the United Kingdom. IAF C-17 aircraft will provide the necessary transport support for induction and de-induction. Global news. Taiwan keeps a watchful eye on China amid Ukraine crisis. Taiwan is concerned that Beijing would take advantage of a distracted West to increase pressure on the islands in the wake of the Ukraine crisis. Although officials in Taipei say Chinese soldiers have made no unusual maneuvers in recent days. The government, which is always on the lookout for Chinese provocations, established a Ukraine working group within the National Security Council last month. China considers Taiwan to be its own territory and in recent years has increased military action near the self-governing island. President Tsai Ing-wen said at a working group meeting on Wednesday that Taiwan needs to boost its monitoring and alertness on military activity in the region as well as combat foreign propaganda, did not specifically reference China. Despite the fact that Taiwan's administration claims the island situation is fundamentally different from that of Ukraine, Tsai has voiced empathy for Ukraine's situation due to the military danger the island confirmed from China. In two foreign media interviews this month, Taiwan Foreign Minister Joseph Wu cautioned that they were keeping a careful eye on China to see if it would use the Ukraine issue to launch an invasion. China may think about using military action against Taiwan at any moment, and we need to be prepared for that, the Britain's ITV News reported. Japan has imposed sanctions on Russia as a result of its activities in Ukraine. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida announced on Wednesday that Japan will impose sanctions on Russia for its action in Ukraine, calling Moscow's action an intolerable violation of Ukrainian sovereignty and international law. Following Moscow's directive to send troops into separatist region of eastern Ukraine, Western nations imposed further sanctions on Russian banks and elites on Tuesday. According to Shida, Japan's penalties include blocking the issuing of Russian bonds in Japan, freezing the assets of specific Russian people, and limiting travel to Japan. He noted that sanctions detail will be worked out and released in the following days. Canada imposes first round of economic penalties against Russia. A day after Moscow recognized the Ukraine separatist region of Donetsk and Luhansk as autonomous, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced a first round of economic measures against Russia on Tuesday. The United States, the European Union, Germany, and the United Kingdom have issued financial sanctions on Russia as they fear a new incursion, something Moscow has constantly denied for months. After a pro-Moscow Ukrainian president was overthrown in Kyiv, Russian-backed separatists in Donetsk and Luhansk broke away from Ukrainian government control in 2014 and declared themselves autonomous People's Republic. Trudeau announced that Canadians will be barred from doing business from the so-called independent states of Luhansk and Donetsk. He also stated that Canadians will be prohibited from purchasing Russian national debt. Thank you for watching Unplugged TV India. Please hit like, subscribe and share. This is Alice Francis signing off.